In this video, you're gonna learn how much a travel nurse makes in a week. So I'm gonna take you through it. I'm gonna show you my actual paychecks, my actual pay package, and I'm gonna talk you guys through it. And I'm gonna tell you what I look for in a pay package and what I think you should look for. So stay tuned. My name is Emma Pointer, travel nurse, author, and coach with TTT Nursing. Some of you I've met, some of you I've never met before. So if you like this video and you're interested in travel nursing, go ahead and hit subscribe below. Make sure you click the bell to be notified when I post new content. So if we have met before, you guys know that this video is a little bit different. I'm mostly going to be talking to you guys through the screen. So here in a second, I'm going to switch over to my laptop. I'm going to pull up a little bit of my contract so I can show you guys all about pay in my contract and what it looks like for this assignment. I hope that by showing you guys what I have, then I can tell you where I made mistakes, what I wish was different in this contract, and sort of let you guys know how much a travel nurse actually makes. Let's go ahead and dive right into it. I'm gonna switch over to the computer and I'll see you guys there. Okay guys, so we are here now. This is my contract. And I just wanted to go through it with you guys real quick. I'm gonna make another video that explains the whole contract and what everything in the contract means. But for this video, I just wanna focus real quick on how my pay is laid out here. Also, side note, I debated keeping the company name in the contract, but I decided to go ahead and cut that out because I didn't want you guys to think that this was like an advertisement for this company or an advertisement for this recruiter. Also, this company and this recruiter are not paying me. I just wanted to make that clear by not including my recruiter's name and not including the company name in this video. I also went ahead and blocked out the facility name and the facility address just to protect the facility. I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys here. If you look here under general terms, pay period is weekly. This is for a PCU position. It's nights. My taxable pay rate listed here is $20 per hour. And for non-taxable pay rate, I get an $812.22 stipend for every 36-hour week that I work and a $300 stipend for every 36-hour week that I work for meals and incidentals. It also says here that the per diem amount will be prorated by the hour at $30.90 for any hours worked below 36. So let me just explain that to you guys real quick. That just basically means that when you add up the $812 and the $300 and then divide it by the 36, it comes out to $30.90 per hour non-taxable. I get taxable $20 an hour and I get non-taxable $30.90 an hour for a total combined rate of $50.90 an hour. So what this is saying that if for some reason I don't work my 36 hours for the week, I will still get stipends for the hours that I worked, prorated at $30.90 an hour. Under additional compensation, it includes my $500 relocation reimbursement, which was paid on my first check after I gave them receipts. I gave them receipts for my hotel on the way here, all my gas on the way here, and any expenses that I incurred to get to where I am. And they paid me that $500 relocation. The key here is reimbursement. If it didn't say reimbursement, it's possible that they could tax it. When I got this contract, I was happy that it said reimbursement because to me that means that they're reimbursing me so I don't get taxed, right? So it's a reimbursement, so it's non-taxable. If your bonuses do get taxed, that's an issue because the federal government has a flat rate for taxing all bonuses, and that is usually a little bit higher than even your regular taxed rate for everything. So I was happy when I saw that, and I did get that relocation bonus on my first check after I gave them receipts. Let's look at this real quick. So this says shifts and rates. Any non-regular hours will be paid at the following rates. This clause right here is pretty important because you guys know as a nurse, you usually work 36 hours. That first 4 hours of your first overtime shift usually is just paid at your base rate. So if you're at a staff job, you'll just get your hourly rate for that. As a travel nurse, it's important to make sure that you have a clause in your contract that covers those 4 hours because if you're just paid at your regular hourly rate, you will be paid $20 an hour. So in essence, your first 4 hours of overtime would be less than you make regular time, because regular time I make $50.90 because I'm getting those stipends. They don't give you extra stipends for anything over 36 hours. So this clause basically protects me and says that my first 4 hours of any overtime shift is going to be paid at my regular rate that I get when accounting for stipends. This is super important because the hospital bill rate stays the same. So let's say the hospital bill rate is $75 an hour. So for those 4 hours, your agency is still getting $75 an hour for you. And if they're only paying you $20 of that $75 an hour, that's not fair at all. So this clause just ensures that I'm getting what I'm usually getting. And then anything additional that your agency gets from you working overtime is unexpected. So it's like a bonus to them. So you always want to make sure that your overtime rates are fair. My overtime rate for this contract is a little bit lower than I'd like to see. Basically what this section here says is that after 40 hours, I get paid $62 per hour, and that's going to be all taxed, as well as this $50.90. That's all taxed. It's also important to note that you will be bringing home less per shift probably when you do the math on this, because $50.90 an hour for 4 hours plus $62 for 8 hours is not going to work out to be that much, considering that it's all going to be taxed when you're used to getting it all non-taxed. So that's why I would like to see this overtime rate be a little bit higher, but usually that's something that I recommend negotiating if you do decide to extend. That's definitely something that your agency is able to up, because in essence, they really should be paying you the entire bill rate for your overtime. There's no reason that they need a cut of your overtime, because when they hire you, they don't budget and they don't plan on you working any overtime. So any overtime that you work that they get part of the bill rate for is really just extra money in their pocket for no extra work. You're the one who's doing the extra work to get the overtime. So in my mind, you should be getting the bill rate, if not very close to the bill rate. Also, there's a little clause in here that says holiday pay will be paid at $31.10 per hour. I don't really care much about that because I'm night shift, so I only ever get like a couple hours. Even if I work Thanksgiving Day, I'll only get a couple hours of the holiday pay, and it's not much more than my base pay is, so that's just a little extra bonus. Also here we have the on-call pay, which is $3 an hour, and it says on-call rate ceases upon arrival to the client facility. Contractors must arrive within 45 minutes of receiving call. So this contract, I've actually done 4 hours of on-call for an overtime shift that I tried to pick up, and they didn't need me, and they asked if I wanted to be on call. I said sure, so I got $12 for being on call. To me, that doesn't really make that big of a difference, but if I was on call and they did call me and say that they needed me, I would have gotten callback pay, and my callback pay would be $31.10 per hour. And if they did call me in, they would have to keep me there for a minimum of 2 hours. So that's good to know. If you try to pick up overtime, they might put you on call in case they need you, and then if you do go in, if you get any on-call pay, you should always get callback pay. So make sure you check out your contract and see what that says. I think that's a pretty fair rate for callback pay. Okay guys, I am switching over now. This is one of my actual pay stubs. It's my very first pay stub, which I wanted to show you guys and pay extra attention to, because there's two special things about this pay stub. First of all, I went ahead and I blocked out company name again, all my information. It does say my name here, so you guys know that this is my actual pay stub. And then I blocked out the tax information, and then company address and my address. Other than that, you guys can see everything here. Here we have, like I just talked about, my regular hourly rate, which is $20 an hour, and then my per diem stipend, which is $30.90. You see my very first week here, I worked a little less than my contracted 36 hours, and that was because I was on orientation. This facility had a really good onboarding process, so they actually allowed me to do 4 8-hour days in their classroom orientation, and then I also did some module training, which I got paid for at home. That's what's making up my 31.25 hours for this week. And then you can see how much I got paid. This is my regular earnings. This is my per diem stipend. So this $965 is not taxed. This $625 is taxed, for a total gross for the week of $1,590. They then took out taxes from that $625. So these are the taxes they took out. And then this right here is what I wanted to show you guys. This expense management deduction. This negative $654 is my reimbursement for that location bonus that I just talked to you guys about. So $500 of it is my reimbursement for my location bonus. And then also my company reimbursed me for getting my state license for this state. So that's what that makes up here. They added this extra to my paycheck after taxes. So this was not taxed, for a net pay of $2,150. So that's obviously a little bit higher than I usually make, but that was for my first paycheck with the reimbursement. So I wanted to show you guys that one so you could see how the reimbursements should look on your pay stub. Okay, so now I switched over to a different pay stub here. I wanted to show you guys this one because I have another video, which I will link up in the cards here, that talks about making sure you have your finances in check before you start travel nursing. And I wanted to show you guys this pay stub so you know exactly why. This isn't going to make a lot of sense to you until we switch over to the other pay stub and you see the difference. But here I wanted to show you. So this week right here is a week that I got called off once and I got late started one other shift. So I only ended up working one full shift this week. So here you can see I worked 22.25 hours this week instead of 36. That was not by choice. In my contract, there is a clause that says the facility can call me off up to 2 shifts per contract. I was ready for that and I was aware that that might happen, but still I wanted to show you guys how that affected my paycheck and why it's so important to make sure that you're not living paycheck to paycheck as a travel nurse, because my paycheck here is actually net pay $700 less than what I'm used to. So good thing I was not counting on that money to pay my bills. Otherwise I would have been really upset. Honestly, this was upsetting enough, but I can't imagine if I was also stressed out about money on top of that. So that's basically all I wanted to show you guys here, is just that this week I brought home $1,072.39. And now I'll switch over to my regular paycheck and I'll show you guys what it usually looks like if I don't get low census. So this is what a normal paycheck looks like for me. Here you can see that this week I worked my regular 36 hours. So I got paid my regular pay, $20 an hour for 36 hours, $720. I got paid per diem rate, $30.90 for 36 hours. And then I worked 0.25 hours over the 36 hours. I got paid extended rate for that, about $12 extra. Here you can see my gross for the week is typically $1,845. And then once they take out tax, I end up bringing home $1,728. So that's much different than the $1,072 that you guys saw in the other paycheck. A couple things I want to talk about here. So for taxes, you guys can see that I'm paying very little in taxes. I actually do have my deductions set at the highest possible deductions, and this is still how much they're taking out. So you can see how much of a difference that makes when I'm getting a majority of my money as per diem non-taxed money, that I'm paying very, very little taxes compared to what I was used to paying as staff. Also here, you guys can see this is my paycheck. It has my name on it. This is the pay period. So this is actually my most recent paycheck. So I just wanted to talk to you guys real quick about total money that I'm making and how that compares to a normal staff job. As of the time that I got this paycheck, I still have 5 more paychecks left to get. So we're going to work from the year-to-date totals on this and then do a little math to see really how much money I'm actually planning on making this contract, as long as I don't get called off anymore. So I have 5 paychecks left after this. So I took this gross number here, times it by 5 to see how much money I can expect to gross. And then I added that number to this number here. So total for this assignment, I plan on grossing $23,260. And then also I wanted to see how much I was going to net for this contract. So I took this number here and I multiplied it by the 5 paychecks that I have left. And then I added that number to this number here, this year-to-date total that I've made so far. I should end up netting $22,457 from this 13-week contract. So I just wanted to do a little bit of math for you guys because I am a numbers girl. So I love to see what people are actually making and what it really looks like in real life. So this amount that I'm grossing and netting is going to be over 13 weeks. So let's extrapolate that number over 52 weeks, which is how many weeks are in a year. And if we extrapolate that, people talk about how much money they make, usually in terms of gross, because everybody's taxes are a little different. So, you know, if somebody says like I make $60,000 a year, that's usually a gross number. So my gross right now from this contract, if I were to work 52 weeks in a year, would be about $93,000. Let's just say that people have a tax rate of about 20%, which is definitely going to be dependent on how much you make and your own tax circumstances. But let's just use 20% for a number's sake. With a 20% tax rate, somebody making $93,000 a year gross would net about $74,433. So that is a job that's a typical job with no per diem premium rates to it. So that just kind of gives you an example that if you were making $93,000 a year at your staff job, you would be bringing home into your bank account about $74,000. With the bonus of getting these tax-free stipends, I wanted to show you guys the difference between making $93,000 a year at a staff job and $93,000 a year with the tax-free stipends. Let's take the net number that I expect to make for this contract, which was $22,457, and multiply that by 52 weeks in a year instead of just 13. So when we do that math, if I worked at a contract that was paying similar to this one for 52 weeks in a year, I would be expecting to make net, which is money into my bank account after taxes are taken out, about $90,000 a year. So if we do the reverse math on that, this would be equivalent to a staff job, which is fully taxed with a salary of about $112,000 a year. Again, assuming that we're taxed at 20%. So I know that was a lot of math. I hope you guys followed me there. But really what this boils down to is that the money that I got into my bank account, which once again is this net pay right here, over these 13 weeks would be the same as if I worked at a staff job and I was making $112,000 at a 20% tax rate. So I don't know what you guys make at your staff job, but I know at my staff job, I definitely didn't make anything close to $112,000 a year. Travel nursing has definitely been a huge increase in my income, and I hope that this video has really helped you guys realize and given you a good real life example of what you possibly can make as a travel nurse. I will note here that what I am making is pretty standard for travel nursing at this time that this video was recorded. Where I am working is a little bit of a higher paying area just because the cost of living is a little bit higher, and the cost of living here is definitely higher than the cost of living that I'm used to back home. That being said, I did get a good deal on housing here, and I am like a very frugal person. I watch how much I spend. I really think that overall this move has been a good financial decision for me. So that's all I have for you guys today. Let me switch back over to my video camera and I'll wrap up this video for you. See you there. Okay, I hope that what we went over today made sense to you guys. If you guys still feel like you need more help, feel free to post your questions in the comments below. I'll look through them, I'll answer them all. And if you still feel like you need more help after that, a good place to check out would be my Facebook group, TTT Nursing. That's a good place for a forum for us to talk about things and for you to see what other travel nurses are asking so that you can have your questions answered without even asking. I'm gonna link also to my ebook in the description below. That's really helpful if you're starting out travel nursing and you just kind of want an overall view of everything you need to know. Feel free to check that out on Amazon. And thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you soon.